Welcome to Cobblestone. Immortals starting on the CT side. And it's SK with 2 sets of grenades onto Fallen and Cold Zero respectively. Taco, will he be spotted by KNG? KNG checking his corners, checking them well. Got himself another 1v1 versus Cold if he wants it. He might have support from a teammate as well. He did indeed. Bolts is there to offer support. Steel trying to hold things down in the connector area. So far, so well for Immortals until Steel gets picked off. 2 Ts now on the bomb side behind the statue. And they've got Fallen coming in for the flank. So the CTs are trapped in this area.
Yeah, they are very, very trapped at the moment, but SK are going to help them out by relieving them of life. It's going to be just now one more player to go. Bolts, he's very weak, he's tagged up, the bomb is down, but ooh, that's a nice one there from the ocean foam of that PT-1000, lovely. Now Bolts has one more player to tap away. Good range, good for their one shots, now 6 HP, and that's going to be that. Close it down, 3k for him. Oh, all the chickens, why are they lining up over there? What's through there? Is that the feed? Is that where all the feed is kept? Shouldn't it be in the chicken coop? Why are they all trying to get in the door? That's really weird. Interesting. So no answer for this. Well, guess it will remain an open question then.
You don't deserve an answer.
I concur.
We got 4 UMPs in Act 10 for SK, so they'll run an anti-force play setup. Oh, okay, we got a very fast play from Fallen, and he's also with Phelps running up middle, trying to cause distraction, trying to get information, and they can take the bomb still to either A or B, but they're essentially trying to see what's going on, where are the CTs at, and now Cole's going to pick off towards drops in. It's brilliant for them, and they can go for the pick up of the bomb and get into B, basically. It is a pretty nice play here, because they're able to see, okay, what's going on in A. If there are players in A, they hold the rotation, and then they get that information, and the bomb can go to B. So it's quite nice. And if there's no one in A, they can pick the bomb up and go to A, and then plant it there safely. So pretty nice anti-eco rounds, or anti-force play rounds, I'd say. Are you a fan, Yanko? Are you a fan?
Of course that.
That's wonderful. Cheeky iBoy Power PCs down there.
Hats boys. Those PCs are really cool. I saw some up close at E-League. They're pretty nice. They're relatively compact as well. And that's enough of a sales pitch from me. 2-0 Immortals with the eco rounds, with the pistols. This is a nothing round for them. They will be subject to the will of SK, it must be said. And they're going to stack in connector. Not often you see that. Normally it's in A or B, but not somewhere in the middle. The double stack from, well, the stack from Lucas and Steel will yield 2 USP kills. That is somewhat weird.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I don't know if they had a read or if they just wanted to gamble that setup, but that was an awesome setup. You don't really see that often, so that's a cool one. Cold Zero gonna make some money. There you go. There's a lot of money in the bank. $1,800 for him. Must be nice. Must be nice. The man himself. Okay, well, it's going to be interesting to see if there can be a, when there's going to be a recovery coming in from Immortals. They have their first buy round of the CT side. And having SK in a position where they can dictate the pace is scary. They've opted to go for double AWP and have almost no grenades. If SK go really fast or throw in all the grenades for a set piece with smokes, they are in a lot of trouble. And he's going to have to do some crazy moves, which of course he is very capable of doing, to save it.
Lots of grenades being deployed. Lots of grenades. It's going to be a wall of smoke taking all the CTs away. So it's a double AWP retake, or is it? KNG still over towards the A site. No rotation coming in from him, and Phelps has made his way into connector, getting a kill en route. Bolt's taken down, and surely it's safe territory already for the CTs, but Phelps won't allow them to rotate. They're trapped in the B bomb site. They are forced to fight, and the fight is not going their way. This is a strong first buy round from SK. KNG never made it anywhere close to connector, wondering what might have been. And again, despite, Immortals are looking to play to their strengths in the double AWPs, but double AWP I don't feel like on Cobblestone is as effective as it can be on more open maps. So it may not have the desired impact. But SK seemingly feeling Immortals will be somewhat predictable, at least in the early stages of this new lineup.
I mean, the problem for Immortals was in that execute they were defending by waiting behind the smokes for someone to push, and then they were going to play for the retake. But Phelps was the sole player going drop. The rest of SK was going be long, and he managed to get 2 kills, which is definitely going to ruin any chance you had of going for that retake.
Just one flash for Steel to allow KNG to get into position, but Fallen, his timing is absolutely perfect. AWP taken away, Steel tries to pick it up close, but Fur is there to keep it out of the hands of the CT side. SK know nothing else was saved, and they will root out the rest of the players on the B bomb site. And that's pretty much round.
Yeah, so clean too, so clean. Like that picture Henny has there in his little profile. Looks kind of like, I'm not sure what he's doing in his hand. It's kind of like a point thing, or whatever, but it looks kind of like boy bandish. It's like he could be a boy band member.
What's wrong with you, Dan?
What?
What are
It's
these?
a cool picture.
Why do you notice these things, and what are these references?
What? To a boy band? Like boy bandish type picture. What do you mean?
You like Backstreet Boys?
They're pretty solid as far as the boy bands would go.
Think about the name Backstreet Boys. What does that actually mean?
I've never thought about that.
Very,
never thought about
very weird.
That's actually really. To be fair, though, they're all
What are you
pretty
doing in
rubbish.
the back streets?
They're all pretty rubbish. Like another popular one was 5, but they would always spell it with like a 5, so it's like 5-ive. It's actually like how it looks.
But why?
Like,
why the back streets?
Like, why did you come up with this? Like, where's that come from?
Side Street Boys.
I'd love to be part of the meeting where they like decided these things. It would be so interesting.
Boys.
It's like, that's the name. That's the name.
4 AWPs on the map. Double ops continue for Immortals, and SK completely changing the pace. Maybe expecting a change in approach from Immortals, or maybe just doing whatever they feel like doing. We've got Molotovs coming in from the CT side, not quite working out as they may have expected. I think someone got trapped on the ceiling, so Steel probably not expecting Taco to be in that position, and the mistaken Molotovs will cost Immortals 2 players very early on.
Yeah, I mean, that just had Taco just sitting there for free. It would have been so good to have it, but alas, they're in a very poor position. And
Backstreet Boys named after a flea market in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
All right then. Well, actually, we had get a couple of frags going back the way here of Immortals, trying to get this hold working for themselves, and it may just work out. Henny's still alive. We know how many problems he can cause, although he'll get traded there as Fallen is in position for that one, and Taco with his AWP as well. Just AWPs all over the place. So many AWP kills in this round, but it will be the 6-0 for SK Gaming. I like how you called me out, Yanko, for that very like inert comment that I made. Yeah, you never really called James out for the crazy metaphors that routinely.
James doesn't say nearly as crazy stuff as you do.
That is just such a lie. That's just such a lie.
Mean,
it's a heinous lie.
He doesn't do it on stream, Dan. I'm not talking about what he talks about during lunch.
Flea market in London, they're just called Sunday Market. Like there's one in Vauxhall.
Yeah.
Where lots of meat goes through before it goes to restaurants and stuff. But on Sunday, you can find like a place, some guy just selling remote controls. No TVs, just remote controls.
Del Boy.
Or shoes, all kinds of nonsense. Just called Sunday Market. It's just called Sunday Market. It's actually across the river from our location. Worth having a look there just for fun. What's not fun is a 0-6 starts to your CT side on Cobblers. Anti-pistol approach from SK. First spotting an elbow. However, he took the elbow. Just like an MMA fighter. Never nice. There's a recent video actually where 2 people elbowed each other in the jaw at the same time and knocked each other out.
Really?
Yeah, I tweeted it. One guy got up eventually and then won the round because the other guy didn't get back up again.
How long did it take him to get up?
3-4 seconds.
How long do you have to be out for it to be like a... It's like a double TKO. Is that like a... Oh, sorry, not even TK, like
there
actual
have been
KO.
there have been double knockouts where you kind of spaz out and your arms and legs go up in the air. There's a famous one of that where two guys just roundhoused each other, just both KO'd at the same time.
That's insane.
This
That's so
is
crazy.
a map of AWPs, it seems. They continue here. Immortals sticking to their plan of the double ops, but it hasn't been much action towards the A site from SK so far. This time, Cold Zero with an aggressive peek towards drop will get taken down by one of the silenced M4s. I think we seem to be seeing a resurgence of M4A4 with some teams seen even Scream of using an M4A4 rather than the silenced one recently. Phelps with a wide peak, K&G going from A to B, but that's not going to work out either.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for Immortals to hold if SK use the time that's remaining to kind of group up somewhere and go for a push. We can see that, for example, Bolts, if A is if that's the area that's SK want to attack, he can get it very easily isolated or cut off by the use of utility. And indeed, they're going all together up the middle position. Bolts finding a very nice angle. What a play from him. They haven't really considered his position just yet, and he's already taken down 2 players. A great grenade as well, and he may just have won the round for his team. They were looking, SK were looking so good, but there's still a chance. They're still falling in a 1 versus 2. Bomb has to be picked up though, past the double doors, and the flick is not going to work out. No idea where his opponent would reside behind those doors. What a play out of Bolts. Oh, red crosshair.
Purple HUD and red crosshair. Purple crosshair would be nice as well. I think
I use purple.
I'm not sure if my crosshair is purple or pink now. I don't recall. Anyway,
Purple.
1 to 7.
I recall.
It's what?
It's purple.
Purple. It might be purple. Purple's good. 1 to 7 in favor of SK. They've got an opportunity to reset the Immortal side. Slow approach. The game slowing down after the initial aggression. Didn't work out for SK in the round prior. Still with a fair amount of money. I really think that Molotov was meant to bounce off, but it seemed to just not bounce at all for some reason. KNG with a lovely grenade onto Fallen. Taco wanting to collect the AWP. Can be nice to hold an angle here. You can see somebody move from the stairs. Then that will cause problems as well. Got to be really careful, KNG, in that position. Henny taken down towards the connector area. And that's going to isolate the 3 B players. But what is the read from SK? Do they make a play towards A?
Nice play out of Fur, taking down Lucas, and so many Molotovs and grenades have been expended already, trying to deal with Plateau. At the repeated engagements there that they had against SK. And KNG, they know where he is, sitting by the stairs. He has the bomb actually, but Fur, again, just causing issues, taking down Bolts in the back. And they know, again, where KNG is, or relatively where he should be, as they saw him at the end of Plateau just recently, and Cold Zero will wait for him and take him down. 8 to 1, Immortals having a very hard time so far to deal with SK's shenanigans on the terrace side of Cobblestone. The question is what SK decide to go with next. I mean, they've done a lot of cool stuff so far. The double orbs is quite an interesting approach to that T side. This time it'll only be a single orb, but we'll see if the buy of Immortals, the force buy, can actually help them out here. They have been reset, as you've just seen. So this is why the force buy is out. And SK Gaming are going to know this. They're going to realize that this is the kind of buy they're up against. So they'll run a strategy that's applicable to this round.
You can see the passive positioning from SK. Trying to avoid any shenanigans. Cold Zero with irregular shots in case there is a boost coming in. And SK will have to be expectant of a pop flash play, probably around the broken wall there where KNG is currently standing. So again, they'll take their time and try to exhaust the utility, what little utility there might be on the Immortal side. Steel running straight into the crosshair of Fur. That's a great start, and that might speed things up. Taco looking through the corner of the smoke as KNG moves back. Again, his position is compromised because no one's covering him from the drop zone, but he can't get into position in time without running, that is, and giving himself away. So it's 5 versus 2, and we'll see what these 2 players, if they choose to continue pushing or if they try to hold on to what they have. You can see SK have no intention of allowing them to go anywhere. Fallen is very much on his own, however. So he better make sure he lands that shot.
Well, this has gone pretty well. I mean, generally we've seen SK having a lot of clean anti-eco, anti-force by rounds, which is really nice to see. It's a sign of a well-drilled, well-run team, well-oiled machine. And they don't really have too much interest in hunting down these guns, to be honest. Maybe for some fun. They have, obviously, great money at the moment. They'll be moving on to 9 rounds. Immortals still struggling to do much. What would you like to see out of Immortals, Mr. Yanko? Any changes that you think would be fitting?
I mean, it's very difficult since your options are limited on the CT side of Cobblestone, and also you need to remember they've just added a new player recently, so they probably don't even have that many things practiced. Like, you can always go for the pop flash towards broken wall, you know, something like that to try and get an early pick. But their problems have been these executes and play towards the B bomb side. So maybe you can gamble towards B, maybe boost into drop, try to get an entry kill there. And after that, just play the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I did feel quite gutted for Immortals, actually, as you mentioned, with the set pieces that they've been running, SK have been running. Like, the first big buy for them was double AWP, and the first round that SK played against that was quick round into B, set smokes, and just bombard it with grenades, just rendering the AWPs useless. So, SK definitely have chosen the correct rounds to run against Immortals so far. Quick shot of SK there. Business as usual for them. But as you can see, Taco's been having a lot of fun on Plateau, not just with the AK, with the AWP as well. And now it's 10-1. Very different. A very stark contrast, James. A stark contrast to map 1.
So the question now is, how many rounds of the remainder can Immortals take to give themselves some opportunity, however small it may be, in the second half? Aggressive take of the B plateau area, but they've got 4 people practically in the B bomb site, and they've chosen the wrong time to do it because SK are headed towards A. And considering how slow SK have been on some of the previous rounds, changing the pace and so on, it might be a long rotation for Immortals before they realize it's an A play. Indeed, there's 2 people pushing long B now. B main for the CT side, and that's exactly what they needed. A 2-man spray down from Bolts to bomb on the floor. A rotation allowed from the CTs. Taco, though, still holding things over towards the B bomb site, taking KNG down, but the bomb's planted. Fallen moving back into a position where he can take the CTs by surprise. It's going to be hard for them to look at that angle, though he's missed his shot. There's a flash in there, but it's easily avoided. Close range now. Might have to go for the no-scope. Indeed he does. He's got support from Rifle, however, but there's 1 T on the site. coldzera has to stay alive and deliver for his team, and he will, making it look easy. 11-1 for SK.
I was going to say that the position of Fallen there was really awesome, because basically it only really works, I think, if you know that you got like cold on the bomb site. If that guy that's alone, oh, it's cold, right? Because Fallen can draw so many players down towards the ramp, which basically thins out the numbers as maybe they split to try to deal with not only Fallen, but also Cold, which gives Cold a more winnable situation. But if Cold messes up, then they can just defuse the bomb straight away, and Fallen is too far away to help, really. So I loved how the trust in the teammates and the individual performance we saw out of SK there. They really know how to play with that high level of skill that they bring to the table to optimize things. And we'll see 11-1 indeed. It's quite the scoreline here for SK so far. Just peeking there with the CZ from Steel. And first found his way into the drop zone as the bomb is able to potentially make it down now to the B bomb site. They've cleaned out a lot of players here, so they should realize that it's very likely it's safe. Of course, in a round like this, you never know how many pistol players will be in one location at the start of the round, but we can see it's safe at the moment. And Phelps is covering the flank, Fur's covering connector, and should be, even though the AK is picked up there, should still be fine. Bolts does have Kevlar and helmet as well. There's a Molotov and a flashbang. This round is not over just yet.
Phelps looking for a flank, but Henny may make his way down into the drop. I think Phelps is too far away to hear it if that's what he chooses to do. Bolts taking coldzera down in the meantime. 9 HP on Bolts. And there is Henny. Close, but no round for Immortals. Still that 1 round on the board. This is a colossal half from SK, but there are still rounds to win for the SK side.
There's lots to do still. And again, the pressure's really on for that pistol round as well in that second half, but we'll get there when we get there. Still potentially 2 more rounds to be claimed by the CT side of Immortals. Okay, now we have Immortals ready, SK ready to receive any Immortals aggression here towards the B plateau. Again, SK been really successful at drop pressure. I think they pretty much every time they've tried to get in there, they've made the entries. Actually making some Molotovs happen there deeper towards the plateau position. However, this time it's not deep enough to eliminate the player in the corner. I think that's Phelps. Indeed, it was. That said, Bolt's going to walk in there, and Cole's going to suicide on the flames there. But he does get the entry, and it's 3 versus 4 with over a minute left. So it's still a good situation for SK. That said, it's getting worse due to Bolts.
Fallen missing the shot, but Taco will be there to clean things up. And Henny's opted to push through A, and his teammates might need him on the B bomb site. Fallen is alone now, but he doesn't have the best angle as the push comes in towards the tree, but still towards the statue is who will take him down. Only for a second round from Immortals. SK rolling in cash, looking for an excuse to spend some money perhaps. It's the last round, and Immortals look for their 3rd and final round of the first half. Double ops continue. Lucas on the MP7. Has a faster fire rate than the UMP, and maybe the moving accuracy slightly better. I'm not sure about that one. The fire rate, definitely. So another approach from KNG and Co. Ooh, we've got some weird boosts coming out from the T side. Cole with a nasty surprise, but KNG ready for it. 2 orb kills for Immortals. That's a strong advantage for them.
Phelps is a great position though. Oh, maybe not. Still catches him unawares. And KNG does not stop. There's another frag for him. Trey comes in from Taco, but he's got a lot more players to find. 4 more players to go. There's another one. That's a very nice frag from him. He has full utility still, but the bomb has to be collected. I say has to be. It doesn't have to be collected just yet. He could even try to do a sort of run around the entire map if he wants. He can still make it onto the bomb. But he would waste a lot of time running when he needs to use time to actually get engagements here. And through the smoke he goes. That's a tough situation to be in. 12-3, and it's going to be an interesting first round in the second half because it has to be a win for Immortals. If it's an SK successful defense on the pistol round, surely the game is going to be closed out pretty easily. We'll have to see.
We'll
Tension.
soon find out.
It's palpable, James. It's palpable. You can cut it with a knife.
All Kevlar for Immortals on their T side. Fallen with flash smoke, and he's heading over towards the B bomb site. So if there is a fast rush, he could try to slow things down. Fur hasn't spotted oh, that's interesting. Bolts is towards long A, and I don't think he's been spotted. And Fur's going to hear loads of people running in his direction. 2 easy headshots for Fur, and that is a hole in the defenses of Immortals. But all of a sudden, there are 3 kills for Immortals. Moving into the B bomb site, there are more CTs there, and the bomb's not in tow, but it might pull the final 2 CTs there.
Yeah, Fallen and Cold left. What a duo to be left with to play up against. And Cold, does he make the right read? He's going to have a good position regardless now. You can hear the running towards long. I'm sure Bolts is looking for him. He's not going to find him though. Cold's position. Oh, do they know? Looks like they won't actually get the kill though. You have to frag Cold, and finally he'll get fragged. Now at 1 versus 2, thanks to Cold for Fallen to play off of. It's a very winnable situation. They still have to cross for the bomb plant. Will Fallen peek in time to catch them? Looking for the headshot. There's one, and the second as well will go Fallen's way. That's the pistol round. A very crucial round won by Fallen, taking away the best chance for Immortals to get back into this one.
Damn. Well then, 13-3, and it's forced by territory for Immortals. We will soon find out what they can do with it. Again, it's UMP. It's a UMP party for SK, Universal Machine Party. Here all week. 2 smokes for the Immortals side. Does that mean it's a B play? The bomb is being held with the Lone Ranger towards A, which is Henny. Just a curious play. There'll be no push at the moment from SK, but Fallen is playing in a forward position towards A, so he might get curious and have a look, see, find out what's going on. Fur keeping an eye on the door in the lower area. Fallen losing half his life. He is vulnerable now, and there's another player to hunt for him, but if that player box goes down, then there's no one to carry the bomb, so he's got a decision to make. Players moving into the drop zone while the bomb is collected. Will it join them?
Looks like it's slowly making its way over there, and it will be indeed rejoining the bulk of the push, and Immortals will look to try to just be explosive here. But Cole's coming. He is quite explosive as well. Taco! Wow, okay, the Tech 9. I think Bolts is blind there, but still gets the kill. Tech 9 is very dangerous always. UMP picked up by Lucas, and more frags coming in here. And all of a sudden, another 1 versus 3 type situation. We'll see if Fallen can do some damage. KNG's on 3 HP, so he's very easy to kill, but he's behind the door. Will Fallen check this? Looks like he will. No tagging from KNG. That's a good start for Fallen.
Instantly back out the door to avoid any trade fraggers. The T's will reposition, and that's a lot of damage done by Lucas through the wall or the box. He will shoot Henny, Fallen rather, straight in the dome. Opportunity knocks for Immortals, but how much momentum? They need a lot of it. 13 rounds already on the board for SK. Immortals need a lot of success and very little failure. There isn't really room for it. AK is coming out, and of course, SK going for the force buy. The scout, Fallen is quite dangerous with it, but it will be a challenge to get that going on Cobblestone. Going very aggressively towards long A. Will he continue to push though? Might allow a fourth man to rotate towards B if he did. Fur making his way back towards A at the very least. Indeed, he's heading towards Connector, so it may be 4 men on B for SK to challenge this push from Immortals.
Keeping it simple at the moment, one thing we saw when they had Zach standing in is a lot of B play, almost exclusively B play, and they have been developing a lot of stuff towards B, so that's not too surprising as far as the practice element is concerned. But at the moment, they're going for a comfort choice, getting KNG out onto the plateau. First man in looking for anything, and SK already getting a couple kills on the board. There's a nice headshot from Phelps, but now it's going to be down to very weak Cold and the remainder, which is just now Fallen, which is just now only Fallen. Once again, we've seen this before. Last round, the 1-3-3 for Fallen. I wonder what the once Fallen's out of the action here. Yeah, I was gonna say check the money situation. So it's really bad for SK. So I guess we'll see a full save, Yanko.
Yes, Dan. I think that's a safe thing to assume, even though I prefer refraining from assumptions.
Yes. Assumptions are the mother of all mess-ups.
It's a nice shot from Fallen. And I think he knows he's tagged the other player, so we'll see if he chooses to hunt them down or if he chooses to save KNG. Oh my god!
Oh, he died. Oh, that's a shame.
I feel like KNG deserved to die in that situation. Fallen was unlucky to get that, not to get that shot, but there we go. 5 rounds on the board for SK, sorry, for Immortals, hello. 5 rounds on the board for Immortals, 8 more to go to catch up with the score of the SK Gaming side. It's a long road to victory, but this particular path will be easy, should be no red lights to slow them down as SK are on pistols. Deagle on Cold. It's going to be hard for SK to get a lot done in this round.
KNG looking for that first open. Nice. Molotov usage baits out Taco. And the trap of KNG is sprung. I like this coordination. taking it quickly. Molotovs in the correct places for the correct positions, and we'll see the round essentially over as quickly as it began. So that's a very good good move there from Immortals. And they'll get on to 6, but SK will be on the buy in the next round. Just trying to do some additional damage at the moment.
Plant. He's hitting the bomb.
Ooh. So let's have a look at the money real quick. Let's calculate.
There's blue everywhere then.
Let's calculate. So it's the third loss in a row. That's $2,400 in addition to what you see there. Guess we'll have a look, see if there's some deeks to be had here. It's cold after all. Let's see. We'll get back to the mathematics afterwards. Oh. Oh, what's going on there? What is happening there? All first creeping up as well. There is a potential that they could maybe steal away a weapon. It'd be very hard though because there's so many players. But that's essentially the ultimate goal and the best case, I think, here. Oh, first gonna get backstabbed in the back. Okay, so I guess we don't have to do mathematics. It's gonna be already there for us. So looks pretty good. They'll be able to get everything. I'm not sure if there was enough for a Norb. I'm not sure if there was or not. We'll see in a moment. Okay, no, there's a Mag 7 and 4 M4s. Okay, and a decent amount of grenades. Not enough, but it should do the trick. No kit as well. That's something also to note here for SK. I mean, the lack of kit is a really big issue. If they're getting aggressive with the Mag 7 A long. And Immortals, I imagine we'll see slow play, but I imagine also we'll see mostly B finishes from them. Just based on what I've been seeing recently. And you can pressure the entire map and have the CTs always guessing. Even if you go B 5 times in a row, it depends what you do up to that point. Do you just clear out A? Do you leave a man in A? Do you try to take drop zone and just hold a bit? Do you go really fast towards B? Just there's so many ways to arrive at that conclusion. And you can see here that KNG is indeed clearing out spaces with the help of Henny towards A long, going up danger actually, so they can potentially backstab any player deep. And indeed, Fer is around there with a Mag 7, so Fer quite vulnerable in a spot like this. Oh, what a surprise! That's a lovely play, and that's all about timing. Really nice from Henny and KNG. I actually love that play. And now Immortals are considering going to A. I'm not sure actually. 3 players or 2 players moving back towards A and now going back towards B. So it looks like they will go B.
I think Fallen might have just smoked the mid area, which perhaps deterred them. There we go.
Nice,
and
nice
made
catch.
them rotate. But he can hear people running away, at least KNG. So indeed, the CTs will rotate accordingly. Cold Zero dancing around the pillar. And that's an important kill for him. 18 seconds, and they're just running into the B bomb site, but still Phelps can't get the kill from the tree position. Taco clearing the plant pot and taking Steel down. He's got support from his teammates as well. 9 seconds, and that bomb's not going to get planted. Down to the 1 versus 1. Fallen doesn't need to show because there is not enough time for KNG to get this plant. He's going to lose via timeout. 14 rounds on the board for SK. Fallen escapes with an AK as well. A nice bonus for him, but the team are not going to have a very good buy, the SK team.
Yeah, and you can see that it was known that he couldn't get the bomb down in time, but he got it down just for the extra money instead, $300 bonus for him. So 2 away for RSK. They got 2 UMPs and a Mag 7 in this round. Interesting. Fer got completely wrecked last round with the Mag 7, so perhaps he wants revenge, James. Perhaps he wants to get in there. Fast round now. Very fast, mixes up the pace for Immortals. And this can be very dangerous. You can already see just catching Cole completely off guard. Though the trade frag is in there from Taco, holding on to the drop position. Very important. What else can he do though? Actually realizes that a play got through onto Connector. Wanted to try to clear it out, but he just was too exposed. He wasn't able to. That wasn't a play that he was able to make.
Fallen and Fer, it seems their decisions have been made for them at this point of the round. And it is safe territory once again, the reset for SK. Struggling to gain rounds on their CT side. Immortals continue their march, 7th round en route. And you can see the lack of money for SK, so there's a fair chance of an 8th round and maybe even a 9th.
Boom. Kablamo.
Kablamo.
You know, I just suddenly thought of this. You know, like how in this, because I think one of the SK players was doing it, like you can smash the glass with the knives.
Yeah.
Like that would just not work at all in real life, at all. Like not even a little bit. It's like trying to slash like a
depends.
glass pane.
It depends.
Even if it's only single glaze, right?
M9 bayonet's pretty heavy, and this is, you know, if it's like old thin glass, then there's a reasonable chance you could just smash it like that. But you'd have to swing pretty hard. Anyway, the SK Gaming side have gone for a force by the scout on Fallen. Oh, he's looking for the headshots, but he can't find anything just yet. There we go. KG taking one straight in the face, and Fallen can reposition. He may be susceptible to grenades. He may feel like he's at the point of no retreat. In fact, he is dead.
So much peeking going on, it's insane. Cole going for Y peek, Y peek, Y peek. Eventually gets taken down, but there's Phelps running on the corner, and first found himself a kill with the Mag 7. Switches out for a great upgrade, an AK-47 for him now as Lucas gets in on the action around the statue position. And that's going to be a 1 versus 2 now for Fer to play off of. Once a Mag 7, now an AK. Can he get himself the trio of kills to save the round for his team? With a minute left to play with, Immortals have opted to go for the... Oh, they're not rotation, actually. Just looking to see perhaps if, like, I don't know, maybe there was a call here from Lucas, and Henny's gone back. Fer thinks he's making his gamble, his guess, that it will be A. And the interesting thing about this guess is obviously you have the flanking potential, and that's something that can position you well, regardless. However, if he's standing in connector or trying to push into the B-bomb site, you put yourself at risk because there was presence there, so he could get caught out. So I actually like this play quite a lot from Mr. Fer. To see if it's going to pay off for him, because they will definitely, I would imagine, be looking towards plateau at some point here. It's all about the timing and the positioning for Henny. He's going plateau, potentially. No, okay, he's going to just watch the position. He's static. Will Fer look for this one? Oh, as fast as Henny. Very fast. Great positioning. And that's going to be the round for Immortals. So 8 indeed, as you said, James. Just as you said.
And the force spy has failed, so the door is open for the comeback. That face tells the story,
Making
perhaps.
some faces, yeah. I should have had this. I should have got that.
Yeah, well, we can see some more money being spent. Fer investing in the Mag 7, so the money will remain low for the CT side. And Immortals will be in anti-eco territory. Henny in the tower, making sure there's no flank from the CTs, while the rest of his team concentrate on the B area. 3 CTs around A, in fact, 2 towards long, and Cod Zero is looking at danger, but he's starting to move elsewhere. CTs on B with not much to offer. But again, Immortals taking it slow. Taco being taken out, and again, it's just death by paper cuts in this round for SK. Trying to keep Immortals honest with a kill here and there. First delivered towards A with the Mag 7, so now he's the last man standing. What does he do with it? Moving towards connector. There are some T's en route. Steel spotting him. He's in the red. It seems Fer will save. Can try to make use of his Mag 7 when there's more people to play with him. The bomb is nowhere near the site, though. The bomb needs to be retrieved.
There we go. It will be ferried over like a delicate, as a delicate package that it is. That B-bomb site delivered. Maybe it's not like C4, James. Maybe it's like it explodes and you get like it's like a party popper, one of those
Balloons and streamers.
Yeah, and kittens.
Explosive kittens. I hope not.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Sounds like something producer Reese would put together.
I guess. Well, I'm trying to think of like what would be a cool replacement for the C4 actually, but can't think of anything good.
Bratwurst.
Bratwurst, explosive bratwurst.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty good.
why not? Try catch chunks.
Just diffusing bratwurst.
Chunks of bratwurst.
Chunks of bratwurst. Nice. Oh, we got a lovely camera shot there of Immortals. Zach in the back.
We need to see the buy though. Buys of the teams. So again, SK going for another crap buy. I guess they're going to go for the full buy regardless in the following round, so they can spend some money here. You can see they've got like 2 to 3k, 2 to 3k in the bank. Oh, meaty. Fur bringing the Bratwurst out to play, actually tried to shoot an AWPer. That is not going to work, Mr. Fur, but he has done a good job of killing 2 players towards the A site. Immortals on the back foot now. How do they play with 3 players? Can they have a strong team play as with 5? That is a question. Or are they going to collapse, fall down? Cold Zero, here's the rotation, and his flank can begin.
Yeah, Fur did not even stop to pick up the guns, but it doesn't even matter. The entire team of Immortals gets wiped clean from Plateau. Fur, there's the man. Man with the shotguns, with the SMGs, the guy that you got to fear. And here it is. And look, they lost a man. Boom. There's 1. There's 2. They thought it'd be safe.
Shoot the AWPer. And then finish off Lucas.
That is a massive play. And that's a big swing here for SK. Double up now. They've been stuck on Max 7s. They've been stuck on all kinds of crap, James, quite frankly. But now back to the double ops. Although Fur, of course, still hanging on to the Max 7. And he was in a spot where he could have actually gone for the guns, which is the hilarious point. But he just rotated immediately. He's like, what? You know, Max 7, AK-47 is basically the same thing, isn't it? So for Fur, perhaps it is. Now he'll be finding himself with that Max 7. Still actually playing towards the A side, but he's playing the double doors. He might get a pick, actually. Indeed, there it is. KNG tried to walk through, but you can't walk through Fur with a Max 7. Great position for Phelps. This looks very bad right now for Immortals. No ground gains, no frags, pad. Only problems. Problems, and more problems. Henny looking for the peak here. It's going to require some tier 1 Henny business. Oh, here he comes. Could almost play the Jaws theme, James, but looks like Jaws will be shot in the face today. Lucas with a trio of kills. Really nice work from him and a fast rotation to keep the round alive, but there's an AWPer to be met with this push. And that AWPer, I believe, is fallen. He's actually going to a long, and this could be a fantastic call. This angle is going to keep him very safe. He's going to get information. But if they both go A long, this could be really interesting. Pulling out the pistol, back to the AWP. Oh, he misses the shot. Gets himself the headshot, though. Doesn't know where the next guy is going to be coming from. Gets caught off guard by Henny. Still a chance here. 25 seconds to get across. And Taco is going to make his way quickly onto the angles. But he's not going to be there fast enough to stop the plant from going down. Henny can still clutch this round. In fact, he has the advantage to do so. Trying to bait out a position. Quick shot rattled off there as the bomb is yet to be planted. Now there could be problems for Henny. Has to go for the plant surely. There's only 8 seconds left to plant the bomb. Taco's just waiting. He's allowing Henny to maybe fake himself out. He's got, oh no!
What is he doing?
Oh no, he can't win the round now.
Oh, he went for the hero play.
Oh my goodness, he's done it, James. What happened there? 2 in the moment. Oh my. Oh, that's a bad miss, isn't it? That's a bad miss.
You hate to see it, Dan. You hate to see it. He tried
He outgamed himself, Yanko.
Yes, exactly, Dan. If you only let me finish, I would have said that, but now you can talk.
It's awesome that he had the guts to try that.